What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what the charts are doing so far as the market's looking quite bullish. And some very important things to look at the end of the day for today and also what's happening for tomorrow. But before I break things up all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, let's break down what's happening with the market so far. SPY is about 0.8%, approaching this 430 level, looking pretty strong so far. Now, when we look at how the market ended up opening, we were very, very flat as we opened up, going back and forth just for the first about 20 or so minutes before the market started to break out. We got one last back test for this liquidity grab. Then the market started breaking out as we expected. Now, I told you all the market should get a bounce. I was leaning in that direction. And I told you if we broke 428 on SPY, we're going to see this thing really start to break out. And you guys can see right here, we got that nice break above this resistance for a very, very nice push to the upside. Now, looking at the 30 minutes time frame, we have a nice inverse head and shoulders like structure on SPY. This is playing out quite nicely. And it looks like we're going to be heading towards this 430 to 432 area very, very soon. We have this gap to fill all the way up at about 432. I think that's where SPY is going. I think there's more upside potential for the market. Now, even though the market's looking bullish, even though Tesla and these stocks may start pushing a lot more, I just want to tell you guys about something very important. There's not really much else going on for the rest of the day except for Jerome Powell's speech. The guy is going to be speaking after the market closes, and this could just be a big nothing burger. He may not say anything because he doesn't want to shake things too hard. We'll just have to wait and see. So just be very careful, especially if you're trading. I personally, like, my strategy would be just, securing as many profits as possible, maybe holding just one or two runners overnight. But I actually took a lot of profit already. So I just want to make it very clear. I'm not saying you have to copy me or do anything that I'm doing. I just want to warn you all that Jerome Powell is giving a speech today after the market closes, and he could cause the market to move, especially going into tomorrow. So we'll just have to wait and see what he says. Now, to add on to this, 1 hour before the market opens on Friday tomorrow, we have the PCE data coming out, and this could cause some high volatility as well. So we'll have to wait and see what this causes. Now, once again, holding anything overnight could be a little tricky because of all this data coming out, not to mention Jerome Powell's speech. So it's your choice. I mean, you could be holding a couple of things. I may hold like one or two things overnight just for fun, but it's going to be with just like house money that's just like, a part of the profits I'm making. So it's not going to be anything too crazy. It's going to be more of a more like modest position. So for me personally, I mean, I think the market still looks bullish, which is why I'm still holding positions. But just be prepared for what's going to happen going into the end of the day with Powell speaking. And then tomorrow, before the market opens, we have PCE data. And if you want to exit beforehand, then your chance is going to come today. So I just want to warn you about that. If you want to hold, that's completely your choice. It could still work out very well as the market still looks bullish. So it's all up to you. I just want to warn you guys about this. But anyways, looking at SPY now, we're going to break down the technicals of the markets. We have a very, very nice looking inverse head and shoulders, a nice balance that formed right over here as the 4-hour time frame is turning more bullish, and we're seeing more volume coming in. So we start to see some bullish volume. The 30 minutes time frame is still looking quite decent. I would say that this is looking quite good, and we're getting very close to our 200 EMA at 431.21. Don't forget the gap is up here at 432. I think we're heading in that direction, and SPY looks very bullish, continuing to pump as time goes on. For Tesla, this is also looking quite bullish because when we zoom out of the chart, we have a kind of like sloppy looking inverse head and shoulder structure, but I wouldn't really count that as much. It's more like there's a bullish divergence that's playing out. Tesla got a nice accumulation, and one of the things I predicted was Tesla would establish a higher low right here relative to this low right over here. And that's what Tesla ended up doing, and we're getting this break to the upside. We also broke above the 50 EMA, which is a good sign for it, and Tesla is now trying to hold up. So Tesla just rejected off 247.5. I think there's a good chance Tesla's going to go even higher. But once we break this resistance, if we do break it, we're going to be watching 48.75. If that breaks 250, then 252 are on the table as resistance levels. Now, as far as Tesla goes, it looks bullish on the 30 minutes time frame. The 4-hour looks bullish as well. I think it's very probable we see this thing approach at least 250 very, very soon, if not 252. I'm leaning more bullish for the time being. But don't forget, overnight, we have PCE data coming out 1 hour before the market opens tomorrow. We also have Jerome Powell giving a speech at the end of the day today. So if you want to hold your positions overnight as we look bullish, you could if you want. If you don't want to, if you want to just take 99% of profits or like 90% of them, that's also your choice. That's up to you guys. Do what you want to do. I just want to warn you about that. I may hold one or two things overnight just for fun. We'll have to wait and see on that. But for now, the market looks bullish, and we look pretty good going into tomorrow. For Aapl stock, we got a nice balance. We were talking about this thing dropping. Maybe it's about 168 and maybe trying to rebound towards 170. Instead, it went down to 167. It's a little bit lower than expected, but it formed a bullish divergence. Got a bounce. The 4 hours about to get a bullish cross in the PPO. Let's see if Aapl could try to break above 172. That's going to be a resistance worth noting. If that breaks, 174 is on the table as well. Overall, it looks a little bit more bullish, so it's looking quite good. I want to see this thing get above 172. Overall, it's still continuing to uptrend. For the QQQ, we were talking about a bounce on this potentially. We ended up getting a nice break above 356, the resistance we were talking about. Then the next level to be watching for was 358, which we broke as well. Then we had this gap to fill, very close to 360, and we're getting very, very close to that. We're likely going to just push up towards 360 very soon. We also have an inverse head and shoulder structure that could push this thing towards this resistance in the 360 area. So we're getting very close to some tough resistance, but we're continuing to pump. If we break 360, watch 361.69. The QQQ looks more bullish. Watch these levels very carefully. For Nvda, we were talking about this thing hitting at least 433 if we broke above some key levels. And Nvda ended up getting a nice break. So I'm going to be watching how it reacts to 433. That was the zone and the level we called out. If 433 ends up breaking and it manages to hold that, I can see this thing getting close to 440. It's a real possibility. We're going to be looking at this resistance right here where the wick is. I think 440 is on the table for Nvda. We've got a very, very nice uptrend. It looks quite good, and a bullish structure is continuing to develop. So 440 is on the table, if we break 433, and I think that there's good potential for that to potentially happen. The VIX is continuing to downtrend as we expected. We were talking about this potentially happening as the VIX was establishing many, many signals of it topping. And as the VIX is dropping, I think the dollar is also following a very similar trend. We were talking in the morning about the dollar potentially dropping. We also talked about this divergence that formed on the dollar, the bearish divergence. So the dollar did almost exactly what we were predicting. Now we're going to be watching this 106 support, if not 105.8. Overall, the dollar is looking a little weaker. It's due to cool off a bit. That's helping the market simultaneously. The yields are also dropping just a tiny bit, a very teeny little drop. That's helping the market to some extent. So far, so good for the markets. We're still looking bullish. I'm going to be watching 430 plus on SPY very soon. We look quite good. So watch the market very carefully. Do what you have to do, guys. Look at this inverse head and shoulder and just know the market's in a very decent position. So anyways, one last warning for everyone. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to cause fear. I just want to let you know, right after the market closes, Powell is giving his notorious speech. It could be a nothing burger. He may not say anything that's too significant. The market may just kind of like go through this as if nothing happens. So we'll just have to see on that. And then don't forget, tomorrow before the market opens, we have PCE data coming out. That's like CPI. It's very similar to that, except it's a different measure that's used by the Fed more frequently. So inflationary numbers come out tomorrow. If you want to hold through them, that's your choice. If not, do what you have to do, guys. It's your choice. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. Thank you, and peace out.